Hey folks, just got to wait for people to tune in again. Um, all right, here are people coming in one after the other. Good evening, guys. You're welcome. This is your one and only Waka Doctor. Always bring you the best gist when it comes to travel and migration. Thank you to everyone who's joining in from all around the world. This is another opportunity for us to come share and talk about moving abroad. Today, we're talking about the UK visa sponsorship route. There's been a lot of talks and issues in the United Kingdom. And today I just thought that we should talk about one route that would give you the opportunity to get a visa sponsorship and would enable you move with your family as well. Thank you to everyone watching from far and wide: Nigeria, Ghana, India, Pakistan, South Africa, Botswana, Dubai. I see all of you, and I'm very grateful for joining in. Today, you would get the opportunity to listen to someone who has done it over and over and over again and has helped quite a few people, watch as well. From India, thank you very much. So, it will be teaching you how to do it, and and from Sudan, Jamaica, thank you very much. Rwanda, thank you very much. Uganda, amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, guys. Kenya. So it will be teaching you how to go about it, and you would have the opportunity to ask questions as well. Okay. Mozambique. Wow, wow, Mozambique. I'm gonna be in Mozambique maybe the end of the year. Congo. Wow, Dubai. Fantastic. India. Thank you very much. So let me bring up my guest straight away so that we can do this. You would have the opportunity to ask questions, and Australia, Zimbabwe. Wow. Thank you. I'm very humbled that everyone is watching me from all around the world. Hey, brother, how are you doing, sir?
Yo, brother, how you doing?
Not
Good
too bad.
evening.
Not too bad at all. Thank you very much for taking out time to come and have this conversation with us. We do not
Thank
take it
you
for
for
granted at all.
having me again. I couldn't decline your request.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
and one of the reasons is I remember when I was starting this early last year, and I reached out to you. We had a conversation, and then I had just one or two endorsements, and you were like, okay, let's do this and all that. And I know so many people have gotten endorsement from that single interview we had done, so I couldn't just decline your request. It's
Thank
nice
you.
to have
Thank you very
you
much. Thank
also.
you very much. For those who are wondering, I did a video. I did that interview 1 year ago.
Yeah, I think it's 1 year ago or
One
so,
year, 1 year
or close
ago,
to 1 year.
or
Yeah.
close to 1 year. Yeah, yeah. And the video was amazing. A lot of people applied through this route, and they are in the UK with their families, and all thanks to my guest as well. Quickly, do you want to introduce yourself and share who you are, where you are, and what you do?
Okay. My name is Philip Ojire. I'm the creative director of Shed Freak, or Freak Vote now, formerly known as Shed Freak, and I'm currently in the UK via the UK Global Talent Visa under the art and culture fashion design route.
Amazing. Thank you very much. So I need to ask you this. So the UK has introduced, I've got a lot of questions here I've written down for you. I hope we'll have time to go through it. So the UK has introduced this new policy. Even today I saw one announcement that's just doing my head in. And, they try to reduce immigration, try to cut down the number of people coming to the UK. They don't want dependents anymore. But this route still does that, isn't it? With you
Yeah.
can get sponsorship
Yeah.
and you can move with your dependents as well. Isn't that right?
Okay, so let me, from my own understanding or my own knowledge, the visa route they are trying to cut down this dependent issue is um, the tier two visa, which is the skilled worker visa, and I think the study visa also. Now, global talent, it's like a tier one visa, and it has not been touched based on the dependent part, but they've been like some major update. Probably we'll talk about that as we go down. But to be clear, it has nothing to do with this dependent issue that has been going on with the tier two skilled worker sponsorship visa. So you can still come. I've got people that have been coming this month. I think I have another set of people coming from the 4th of May also. Yeah. And they are coming with their families also.
Wow,
I'm also
amazing. Thank
here with my family.
you.
I've been here with my
You're also
family.
in the UK with your family on the
Yeah.
same visa. So talk to us about what exactly is global talent visa.
Okay, the global talent visa, it's a special kind of visa that is for special exceptional talent or promising talent. It has got two categories. We've got the exceptional talent and the exceptional promise. So disclaimer, I'm not an immigration um lawyer or an immigration advisor. I'm saying this based on my knowledge and experience and what I've been able to do for people or with people so far. And so we've got two categories: the exceptional talent and the exceptional promise. Now, the exceptional talents are people who have made significant international impact in the let me speak basically on behalf for the art and culture, which is my expertise, like for example, for fashion also we've got the exceptional talent and exceptional promise. Now it has to do with people that are fashion designers that have made international landmark presence, contributions worldwide or internationally, whilst the exceptional promise, it's for promising talents who are just starting, who have done either graduated from fashion colleges, fashion schools, did have a degree in fashion, or are just trying up independent fashion designers who are just trying out on their own, who have done one or two jobs that have been documented and they can show as a proof of evidence that this is what they have done. So this is for either the talented, exceptional talent people or the promising, which okay, let me use the Niger word, upcoming fashion designers. Yeah.
So, and I mean, there are two things I want you to explain to us now. You said arts and culture, then you owned in on fashion designers. So does this mean is it only for fashion designers or people generally in the arts and culture like musicians,
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. So
tailors, artists?
okay, so let me break it down. Art and culture is quite broad, and by God's grace, I think I've touched almost every part except poetry that I have not touched. Art and culture covers film, dance, music, fashion, poetry, artists, like artists that draw and all that, or all those artists that do
Painters.
exhibition and all, yeah, creative arts and all that. So that's what the art and culture comprises of. So everybody that's involved in any art and culture under this umbrella, please, makeup artists, and hair and costume people, they are not included. Let's make it clear. But anybody within this industry that I have
So
mentioned,
anyone in fashion, anyone
fashion,
in music,
music,
um,
that's a music
poetry,
artist or music producer, poetry, that's a poet, there's a dancer for each, yeah, for example, the Pocolis and the Kafis.
dancers.
If you
Okay,
have proof that you've danced and you have proof of it's been documented, you have those proof, come on, we'll tell you what to do. And film, we have the actors and actresses, we've got the directors, we've got the producers and the editors. And there's even a new update for, which is a good news for Nigerian and African film people that will talk in between or before the live goes off. So
okay,
for fashion, it's for fashion designers.
okay, okay, and painters as well. You said painters as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, painters,
Okay.
yeah, artists, yeah.
Now, I know the first time we talked was 1 year ago, and I mean, I know that few people that I know, have benefited from this route, but can you tell us how many people you helped in the last 1 year? Do you mind?
Okay, so actually I remember truthfully when I first had spoke to you, I even had to go and check our trace of email, and I saw it was between 1 and 2 endorsements I had that time. So within that time to now, I was counting 59 until my team had to recount again, and we counted 63 endorsements and
Wow.
visas. Not just the endorsement and visas delivered. Yeah.
63, that's amazing. 63 endorsements and visas.
Yeah.
That's
For
amazing.
global
Thank you.
talent,
And thank you.
talent, oh please,
Glo
for global
yeah,
talent.
global
Yeah.
talent. Global talent. Thank you very much. Now, what are the requirements? What should people have if they're interested in using this route, the global talent visa route?
So this global talent visa stuff, it's easy when you have what it takes. So one of my lawyer friend will say, not that you did it doesn't mean that you are guilty. So what I'm trying to say in essence is this visa route is all about evidence. If you like, be big as anything in this world as a fashion designer, if you have no evidence to prove that this is who you are and what you have done, you won't get endorsed. So it has nothing to do with how long. Yes, there's a 5 years threshold there, but it has nothing to be like I've been in fashion. I've seen some people that say I've been in fashion for 10 years, 20 years, and they have nothing to prove to it. I've seen some people that we all perceive in Nigeria that are very big, but they have nothing to prove to it. So this visa route is all about evidence. There's no interview. The only interview is what you can provide, and from that evidence you provide, based on what they've told you to provide, if you can provide them, then you will get endorsed.
What what
If you
what
can
if what
provide
if I
them the
don't
right way.
Philip,
Okay.
let me cut you short. What if I don't have any evidence? Is this some, can you help me? If I don't have any evidence,
So
people don't keep records
if
sometimes.
you don't have evidence, we'll tell you how you should go about to get those evidences. Perhaps you've been a fashion designer for 5 years, for example, or you've done music for 5 years. Or let me give you a typical example. So there was a film producer that I helped. He had so many things, but he didn't know until he started digging up, So we started digging up, and we found so many things, and that was how he got indoors. So there's no way you would have been a fashion designer for or been into art and culture for 5, 6 years that you don't have something. It should be somewhere. It should be somewhere, but it's our job to tell you how to go about it and how to go about it the right way. The thing is, so many people want to be fed like hand spoon, like they'll say, oh, I'll just sit down and you provide everything for me. We can't provide everything for you because we are not your brand. We are not you. You understand? Our job is to tell you how it's supposed to do and give you those
Guide.
guidelines. Yes, and give you those guidelines, and possibly and always review your work. Because so let me give you a typical example for the you need, for art and culture, you need 13 documents standard, but some other parts in art and culture you need a CV, like music, which makes it 14 documents. So um, the three recommendation letters, they've set up different guidelines on how you should go about them. So if you miss any point out of it, out of those pointers, you might not get endorsed. Truthfully, I've seen people that were not endorsed because of
Okay.
just
So
dates in their
yeah.
letters. Yeah, so this is where we come in, to critically review and analyze your application, and even give you a guide on how to go about it step by step. It's like holding your hand. Um, we know you can walk, but if we hold your hand, you walk faster.
Faster.
So
So
yeah, so that.
basically they need to have CV for some of the categories, CV, letter of recommendation, and evidence. Is that right?
Let me even make this. I've met so many people also that say all we need all we need is recommendation letter. Yes, all we need is recommendation letter. The truth is, it's very difficult for someone that don't know you to give you a recommendation letter, and I've that's where we come in also, because recommendation letters and reference letters are two different things. And trust me, 98% of the letters I've seen are reference letters. you know So this is where these global talent assessors say it must be a recommendation letters. There are pointers, about 5 or 6 pointers you must meet that they've created that, and you must make sure you hit those lines in details. Now, this is where also I've seen most people that have it all. I've worked with different categories of people, trust me, have it all, but just one or two mistakes made them they were not endorsed. So it's just better you it must not necessarily be me, but it's just better that you look for either an immigration lawyer or expert, or a global talent consultant to help you for your application, because truthfully is the more you look, the less you see.
Now, there are people in the UK already. Can they switch to this global talent visa? Is it
Yeah,
possible?
yeah, they can. And two things, let me say of two categories I'm so sure of. One, the study route. I know some students I helped before they cut off that you must finish your school before you now switch. I know some people that immediately they've switched. Immediately their study finished, we switched them also. There are some skilled workers also, we had also switched. There's even one lady that was lucky. I think she was supposed to they were supposed to apply for their post study on Monday, because their visa was actually expiring on Monday and their endorsement dropped on Friday. So most times it has to do with luck, most times it has to do with grace also. So we are always able to take positive risks for our clients. Perhaps you're sure of what you're doing, that's it.
Mm. All right. And so let's talk about the benefits. So, what are the benefits people will get from this global talent visa?
Okay, if you live and work in the UK, you know that any other visa route, except from a tier one visa, restrict you. It means that if a company gives you sponsorship, you're tied to that company. So you can't do anything except that company. But I hear that right now the UK government is trying to subsidize to see how people can do different jobs with different hours. But the good thing about the global talent is that you have an uncapped hour to work. You're a global talent, so you can work for yourself and you can also work in any industry you choose. So let's say as a fashion designer, you can work for yourself by setting up your brand and establishing your brand here in the UK, which will be beneficial to you on the longer run. Or and rather, you can also work in customer care in any brand, or you can work in tech, or you can work even with the is it HNS or something. Like, you can work in every field you desire
NHS.
to, NHS, yeah, to work in any field you desire to work in. So it gives you, then another benefit is you can stay out of the UK up to 6 months, not more than 6 months, but up to 6 months. So for me that also have my business in Nigeria and I produce around the world, it gives me that flexibility of traveling back and forth to the UK without the normal cap I think is 30 days or so, but
Yeah.
most times I stay out, but I try not to pass that 6 months threshold. So it gives you that work flexibility which other visa packages might not give you. So those are the benefits, and
And
the
you can
most
also
important
sponsor your
thing.
dependents as well, you said.
Yes, you sponsor your dependent, and the most important thing is the fastest route to citizenship. I have a friend, she does tech. They were one of the first set of people that have got this visa. She just got her indefinite 2 months ago. To tell you that this thing is real. The UK government keep to their promises and say, if you will live and work in the UK for this number of years, we are going to give you this settlement if you desire to settle in the UK. So I think it's one of the fastest and most reasonable way while living and working in the UK.
Before I ask you my next question, a lot of people want to know how they can reach you. How can they reach you?
Okay, the fastest way would be via our Instagram DM. Trust me, we might respond late, but we'll respond early. We'll respond to you, and the reason is, one, most messages will hang because we are not following you, and probably you're not following us. They hang on that unread part, so it takes us time for us to see it, and the influx of message. By the time we respond to you, other messages are coming in, and because we try, even some people that don't even know, we've seen some message that okay, like this morning I saw one, I need your UK visa. So you have to start educating them. Have you read about the global talent? Please go and read it. So by the time we are trying to respond to this one, more messages are coming. So please, if we have not responded to your messages, you can just say hi now. Maybe your messages will be among the first ones we'll see now, because we always get influx of
What's
messages.
your Instagram handle? What's your Instagram
At
handle?
Philip Ojire.
Okay, so they can reach you. Let me
Yeah,
just, I've pinned it at the bottom of the screen, but I'll still, it's Philip Ojire,
yeah.
okay, on Instagram. On Instagram, Philip Ojire is Philiojire.
Yes, please.
Philipojire.
IRE.
I'll take that again. It's Philipojire, Philip Ojire on Instagram. That's the best way to reach him. And I need to also tell people that the Global Talent Visa is made up of various components, fashion and tech as well. And Philip is only here to educate those in the
Art and
arts
culture.
and creative, yeah, arts and culture industry. I'm going to get someone else to come talk to us for the tech people. But if you're in fashion, if you're in poetry, you're in film and movie making, you're a dancer, you're a singer, you're a musician, fashion stylist, fashion creator, and stuff like that. You're an artist, you're a painter. This is for you.
Sorry,
So
I even forgot to add photography also, but it must
photography.
be, yeah, it must be a documentary kind of photography. You know, we can tell you what to do also. It must be a documentary kind of photography, so that those people that do portraits and wedding photography would not say, "Oh, but you mentioned photography." That's why I'm trying to specify it here.
All right, thank you very much. So there are new changes as well from last year up until date. What are those new changes that people need to know?
Okay, so Arts Council, annually, they always do update their guidelines, and they try to make it clear and at the same time confusing. That's why I said earlier, it's like the more you read, the less you see. So this year, I think on the 2nd of April, they did a new update where they gave, it's the same thing, but they did like some tweaking. Let me give you a typical example. So before, the media recognition can come in form of press briefings, features, and all that, but now they want it to be an independent review by a critic. So those are one of the tweakings that they have done in it. So it's your job now, if you want to try it alone, to start working on publications that a critic will have to criticize your work. So those are one of the guidelines they've put. So industry recognition now cannot come from just, it must be your graduating collection. So
What does that mean? What does that mean?
it means that industry recognition is only basically for people who attended accredited fashion schools, or recognized, according to them, recognized fashion schools, or have a degree, um, first or masters in fashion. So it must be, so once you're graduating, you must have a graduating collection. So there are some fashion schools also that are outside the UK that are recognized also. So anybody who have attended and has a graduating collection can use that category. So there's been lots of tweaking and changing. Like when I applied, and up till May last year, proof of sales could come from your own website. But now proof of sales must come from a luxury boutique or an international luxury retailer. So those are the tweakings they have done, that it's like now a
And
headache.
are you these tweaks are a little bit different from what is obtainable last year. So if someone comes to you now and says, Philip, help me with this, are you able to help with that? Are you able to guide as well to
Yes, we'll
how they
guide.
can
Yes,
do that?
we'll guide and do and give you our professional advices on how you can go about them. Our job is to help you simplify. Like most times, I tell people, look through your network and you see um, um, people that can help you. Let me give a typical example. I have a client, she's even in the UK now, I think in Newcastle. So she was looking for just one recommendation letter left. And I always tell people when you consult with me, look through your network, to be faster. And then she looked, now realized that one of her elder brothers is actually a friend to a top fashion designer in Nigeria. I was like, see, go to your elder brother, tell him what you need, and make sure you go with him to the person's office. Even if it means you lying down to get this later, just explain yourself and show them what you've done and show them how genuine you are. And guess what? She got the letter that day. You know, so most times it's you might look through your network or even reach out to people. If you're genuine, you're a fashion designer, you reach out to people also. Some people might be able to help. Out of 100 emails or DMs you send these people, one might just be able to help. You might not know until you try. There's no harm in trying. So, but our job is basically to help you find these resources if you can't get them, and see how we can help you speak on your behalf if you're genuine, and speak to these people on your behalf.
Fantastic. Let me just do a quick recap for those who are just joining us for the first time. This is Philip Ojire, and he helps with moving people through the global talent visa, the arts and culture pathway. So if you're in fashion designing, you're in entertainment, music, painting, you're in poetry, film and music production, photography, that's not still photography, but documentary type of photography. So long as it's art and culture, Philip is the man you want to talk to. This route would help you move to the United Kingdom via sponsorship. So you don't need IELTS. You can move with your dependent. You can work, unrestricted hours for yourself and for any company, but so long as you're in the arts and creative set, even if you're a student, you can switch. You can switch so long as you want to use this route. Philip will be able to guide you. It doesn't matter where you are. You're in India, you're in South Africa, you're in Kenya, you're in Nigeria, you're in Ghana. He can help and guide you. There's a Tech Nation visa, also a part of Global Talent Visa, but that's not what we're talking about today. I'm going to do that live session sometime else, not today. But if you want to contact Philip, all you need to do is send a DM on Instagram. It's Philip Ojire, PHILIPOJIRE. I'll take that again, PHILIPOJIRE. Now, I know that Instagram has restrictions where once you send a message, you have to wait for the other person to accept. Okay, you have to wait for the other person, so just keep sending your messages, they will respond to them. And for those who think that we are causing wahala, we're not causing any wahala, we are only helping our own people. The United Kingdom, they came to Africa. Okay, there was no barrier. Okay, the British people came to Africa without barrier. They didn't apply for visa, they just came with their ships and came to colonize us and stole from us and did everything. So we are only, and this is not illegal migration. This is legal migration, knowing what you need to have, knowing the requirements, knowing the process legally. Nobody is saying go and do, no, no, no. Okay. So thank you very much for that. Philip, is there any other information you want to share with people?
Um, I would advise anybody that wants to apply based on, because the rejection rates now, it's crazy, Even lately I've had couple of because of the new update, and the annoying thing is, under normal circumstances, every application put in before the new updates was done based on the former updates, and it was supposed to be assessed or judged based on the previous updates. But all the applications we helped people put in, or our clients that worked with us put in within that period, I think 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before they brought out that update, came back all rejected. So I wouldn't come and lie that I've had 100%
Success
endorsement,
rate.
yeah, success rate. And I always tell our clients that, see, we'll try to do the right thing 100%, but the decision still lies in the hands of the assessor or the judge. So anybody that tells you that immigration is 100% guarantee, even the certified immigration lawyers and consultants, they can't assure you 100% because they are not the person judging. They are not home office, or they are not the person for this category. The endorsement comes from the accredited bodies, like for art and culture, it's Art Council of England, and Art Council outsource fashion to British Fashion Council. They outsource film to PAC. So I think they handle the rest of the art. So at the end of the day, it's still based on the person assessing your application, that it's in the hands of the person. So you try to do the right thing. But if we do the right thing and it comes, we have a case to appeal, so it's
Okay.
better to go through someone who is experienced and that have done it before. See, no two applications are the same, trust me. Because let me give you a typical example. You do put in an application now, you don't get endorsed, and they point out one issue, and you fix that issue, and you come back and you put another application. You might be surprised that the second assessor will find out five more issues why you shouldn't be endorsed. So at the end of the day, is doing it well and doing it right. So I would always advise people, based on this new guideline, just seek the help of someone that have done it before and done it recently, after this period, so
How
that you
how
can get.
long does this whole process take? How long does this whole process
So
take?
there is no capped time for this. Let me tell you why. Now, let's say client A comes and client A has it all. Client B comes and client B has most of the things, but needs to reach out to XYZ, or we need to help you putting things together. And client C comes and has nothing. So we start the digging, we start the research about the person and see what we can get and what we can build. So the time to take client A and client C are different. But once we put in your application, or once you put in your application rather, it takes 3 to 8 weeks to get a decision. So after that, then you can now proceed to this step two. The good thing about it is that once you get the endorsement, except you have an previous immigration issue, um, with the UK government, maybe criminal or terrorist kind of issues. I've not seen any reason why you shouldn't get this stage two, because I've not seen anybody that got the endorsement and don't have this issue that have not gotten the stage two. So the ball is in your court. Once you get the endorsement, it's sure that you would get the visa.
So would you say a total of maximum maybe 4 months if you do it right, maximum 4 months?
Yeah, maximum 4 months, 5 months, 3 months, 2 weeks. There's a particular client that I really applauded. I think she saw it from your video and she wrote me that same night, and we booked a section for the next day, and boom, the lady started working, 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 working. In short, most times 12 midnight, she's writing me, "Hey Philip, I've gotten this, I've gotten that." I'm in a week or two max, we're able to put in her application. She's with her family in the UK now. So it's all about how intentional the person is also. I've had some people that have consulted with me since last year and they've not gotten one thing. So it's all about how intentional you are. It's your determination that will make you succeed. Yes, we'll do chunk part of the job, but the ones we want you to do, how fast can you deliver them will determine how fast would also work. So if we look at your project and say, oh, your project is going to take us 4 months, and it takes you 3 months for you to deliver your own, it means that the day you deliver your own, that's the day your 4 months start counting. So to take like 7 months, which is not our fault. So it's all about how intentional and determined the person is to work. We are very open and transparent. In short, uh, I was even thinking of to start doing videos maybe once in a month when I have time, to with some clients who have been successful, have moved to the UK we worked with, to tell us their working experience with us and try to encourage others also. And another thing I remember, for let me speak for my co-fashion designers, every fashion designers needs to scale their business, and the country you are might not be enabling for you because you might not have that access to funding. But I can beat my chest, and I can't name their names, but I know like three people that have gotten good funding for their businesses in the UK, just because they are here. I can beat my chest that where I produce, or some companies where I produce from, or factories I produce from, when I was back in Nigeria, they needed their 50-70% down payment, and before they deliver, you have to pay their balance. Now I get offers like, because they know we are now residents here and we operate partly from here, they'll be like, "Oh, Philip, you can just pay us 40-50%, and when we deliver, we'll give you like 3 months, you know, and after 3 months you can start paying off the balance," or they'll even create a proper payment plan for us. So one thing I'm encouraging other designers is, if you have what it takes to move, please jump on this visa right now, because we don't know how long they are going to sustain this program. But make sure you jump on it and scale your business. Yeah, see, I always believe that the next biggest fashion name can be in Nigeria, but it won't happen if you don't position yourself in the right place. I know how the growth of my business from um when I was just operating in Nigeria and when I'm operating here, the access of forex alone, you know if you go to my website, I think it's listed in USD now, the not naira, the access to of forex alone, that we get the influx because of how accessible it is for customers to pay. It was a tug of war now for customers to pay back when we were in Nigeria, because most times not all payments, the pay stacks and flutterwave will help you process. When we even try using third parties, like all those third parties apps, not every customer knows how to use it. We started doing explainer videos, still teaching them how to do. Not every customer has that patience. When Zara store is just 10 minutes drive from where they live, or Gucci store. So what makes your product more fantastic? We need to stress them. So it's the environment is more enabling for you. I don't see why, if you're determined, you can't scale in this country.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Philip. So this video has been about the Global Talent Visa, the arts and culture pathway. So if you're in music, you're in entertainment, you're in fashion, you're in painting, you're in photography, you're in film and movie producing, this is the pathway you want to use. You can reach out to Philip on Instagram using Philip Ojire, Philipojire. Send him a DM, and someone would attend to you. This is moving to the United Kingdom using this pathway. No IELTS involved. You can move from anything from 2 weeks to about 4 months, depending on how fast you are able to provide the documents required. And there's no restriction to how many hours you can work, and you can move with your family as well. Yes, if you're an actor, you're a dancer, you're a musician, you're a journalist, you're a photography documentary person, you're in media, you're a painting and artistry, this is the one for you. Look, Philip, thank you very, very much for doing this with us. And I hope you'll be responding to people's DMs now, because I can see people are saying that they've been sending DMs already. Like I said, I would get someone else to come talk about IT and tech in another video. This one is specifically for those in the arts and culture field. Philip, any final words
Uh,
before we round up?
two information before I forget. I remember I made mention of for film people. So the good news for film actors, actresses, producers, editors, and directors is AMVCA has now been added as one of the eligible awards for application. So before, for the whole of Africa, we had only AMA. So now we have two AMA awards and AMVCA. So if you know you have been nominated or won any of this category of awards, or you contributed in any movie that was nominated or had won AMVC award in the last 5 years, you are eligible to apply. This is a good news for our film, because we were worried where the AMVC in Nigeria seems much more bigger than the AMA Awards. But before it was just AMA Awards, but now the good news is AMVC has joined, which I know we have so many actors that have reached out to me, and producers and directors have reached out to me before. So this is a good, in case they are hearing this, this is a good news for them. So they can also reach out. Also, we'll tell them what to do. Number two, it's been there, but as at the time me and you made this video, the previous video, it wasn't there. For the fashion design exceptional promise, you don't need the UK letter anymore. It means that your three letters can come from Nigeria or any country of your residence or anywhere in the world. So the UK letter for exceptional promise fashion has been scrapped out. You just need three letters from anywhere in the world. But the people must be internationally or nationally established and recognized.
All right. I'm sure
So,
you're
yeah.
going to guide them to with how to go about this. Look, thank you very much to everyone who's joined in from far and wide. Till I'm able to bring you another video, it's Waka Waka Doctor here, and I'm signing out.
Thank
Bye, guys.
you. Have a lovely day. Bye.